Hi, ladies. Oh no. I just finished a 2-hour call with level two, the follow-on program to this program. So, uh, here's hoping my throat is going to be okay. All right. Okay, 7 p.m. Ladies, we're going to talk about skin today. Um, such can be a very triggering, controversial, um, part of rebalancing your health because of all the messaging bombardment that we get from the beauty industry as to what are the standards of beauty, aslan, when it comes to our face and our skin. What do we need to do to take care of our skin? Um, how true, this is all according to the beauty industry. Where does actual true skin health come from? So there's a lot of disempowering information out there, in my opinion. I can also call it incorrect, but I prefer to say disempowering because, again, same as the information you get about your health, your physical health, you're made to feel that the only way that your skin can be clear and beautiful, and who says that clear equals beautiful also, right? So they set these standards. And then you feel the pressure that you have to go out and buy all the products and do all the things that they are saying are the standards of beauty when it comes to your skin or when it comes to anything, right? Hair, skin, body, all of that. So it's very disempowering when you're continuously getting this messaging and you're getting the images of women who look nothing like you, but you're being told this is the standard of beauty. This is, if you want to be glowing, if you want to feel confident in your beauty, blah, 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 here, buy this product, buy these 10 products. But we know that, like any other organ, your skin is an organ. Your skin is actually your largest organ. I know we never think of it that way, but if you take a moment now and think about it, look at how much space it covers over your entire body. It is your largest organ. You don't have another organ that is bigger than your skin. Um, because it's an organ, it means it's made up of millions and millions of cells, just like every other organ in your body, which means that in order for it to function, okay, the function of skin is what? Is to protect your internal, it's protect your bones, your muscles. But we see the function of skin more of how we appear externally to the world. Fair enough. So the function of skin and how optimized your skin is no different than how we optimize the function of any other organ in your body. Are the cells of the skin toxic and deficient? Are they being given more toxicity and not getting given the necessary nutrients, just like all the cells in all your other organs? Or are they free of toxicity and being flooded with nutrients so that it can look and function radiantly? The other thing about your skin in terms of function, and you're starting to learn this now, is that your skin is, in addition to being your largest organ, it's also your largest detox organ. Skin is being referred to as the third kidney. Just like your liver, just like your kidneys, just like your lymphatic system, your body uses your skin to purge. So when you see acne, when you see pimples, when you see rashes, when you see discoloration, when you see melasma, when you see psoriasis, when you see eczema, those are not all signs of an external issue causing the skin to malfunction. These are all signs of internal imbalance that is pushing through the skin and coming out through the skin. So every single skin issue that you can name or that you can think of, even the most basic ones like wrinkles and just dull discoloration, discoloration under your eyes, those are not they didn't happen from the outside in. They show us that something is imbalanced internally and some kind of toxin, something inflammatory is being filtered by the liver, being filtered by the kidney, being filtered by the lymphatic system, and potentially didn't make it out in those elimination pathways, and the body finally had to push it through the skin. So this is really important to know. Every single skin issue, every single one, the root cause is internal. And so the solution is internal. Fixing acne or rashes or discoloration doesn't happen by the application of topical creams. Those can offer temporary solutions. And then once you stop using them, right, the problem comes back because you haven't solved what's happening on the inside. Your skin also, despite the fact that it's your biggest organ and despite the fact that it is a detox organ, is not a vital organ. So in terms of hierarchy in your body, your heart is more important than your skin. Your lungs are more important than your skin. So when you eat, right, you know that, remember, why do we eat? We eat to feed our cells. All the trillions of cells in our body in every single organ, including our skin. So whenever you eat, the body has to ration out whatever nutrients you've taken in from that meal, whether they were intense nutrients, dense nutrients, or not. So your body's going to prioritize your vital organs first before it rations out to the skin. So it's going to give your heart first, it's going to give your lungs first, it's going to give your liver first. And whatever is left over, okay, we can give this little bit to the skin. So if you're eating a diet that is very low in nutrients, if it's mostly toxins and very deficient in the very necessary building blocks, already what you're taking in is limited. So already what the body has to ration off to your vital organs is limited. If you wake up in the morning and the way that you used to eat coffee and then bread, cheese, croissant, donut, cereal, milk, sandwich, then pasta for lunch, rice, protein, nothing live. Every time you eat, the body's going to have to say, okay, she just had a cheese sandwich. She just had a melted tuna melt. She just had a chicken sandwich. She just had coffee with a piece of cake. What do we do with that? There's no nutrients there. Okay, but she needs to stay alive. So let's give whatever nutrients we have here to the heart. Let's give whatever nutrients we can extract from this sandwich to the liver. And that's it. Because there's not much there. So there's nothing left over to go to the skin. So the cells of your skin are not just toxic and deficient, they're literally dying. Because the body's never going to prioritize an organ that you don't need to live. So little by little, over time, as you do this year after year after year, the cells of your skin start to, they have no life, they have no energy, they have no fuel. So they get tired and they get sick. And this is then how you start to look older than your age quickly because the cells of your skin have no vitality. This is assuming also there's no other skin issues. We're talking about basic, right? And then very gradually, as they die off, you lose the glow because how can your skin glow if it's underfed or not being fed, period. So you have to understand that rebalancing or fixing skin issues relies on an internal solution in exactly the same way that we are solving all your other issues. No different. And once you start to bring in very nutrient dense foods where there's more than enough to go around, so that you eat your smoothie in the morning, you have your celery, you have your salad, you have your cooked vegetables, all of them very nutrient dense, the body is going to give to the heart and to the liver and to the eyes and to your hair and to your skin. Some of you might have started to notice a difference where people will say, what did you do? Your skin looks different. Once you start to see that, once you start to see a shift in your skin, then you know that you are truly at that point eating the very, very nutrient dense foods to the extent that your body has extra to also feed your skin. Now, because our skin is an external organ, it does still require external care. So, and as women, we love our morning routines, we love our evening routines, we love any of the routines that help us feel, feminine and make us feel good. So the problem is not in the self-care routine. The problem is not in wanting to apply something on your skin, wanting to apply something that makes you look better. That's not the problem. The problem is in the actual products. And if you're not addressing the issue internally. So by now, we're all addressing the issues internally. Topically, though, this is something that's why, some of you in the very first week, you're asking me about products and is this one okay? This one okay? And I said, hold off. We're going to get to that. But also, now that we've gotten to it, I'm still going to ask you to hold off because a couple of reasons. I'm going to talk to you and explain it and everything. You have all of this information in your guide. But if you are still not to a point where this way of eating is 100% natural for you just yet, if this hasn't really become your new normal just yet, I don't want you to add another piece that might throw you off or that might stress you out. Okay. So whatever you're going to be reading about the skin in the guide in terms of, I have a list of all the ingredients you should look out for in all the products, and I give you substitution products. I don't want you to actually go into that or even to do, I've outlined a very simple natural cleansing method called the oil cleansing method. I don't want you to add that in just yet for any of you, unless you are 100% confident with the process up until now. If you're not, if there's any doubt in your mind that the process of, grocery shopping, chopping, prepping, like it's still, you feel in your gut that this still requires more focus, don't bring in something else that might shift that focus or shake it just yet. You'll have plenty of time to add in the skin routine. Also, there's a psychological component here. And I remember when I first became a health coach and I changed all my food, and I used to have horrible, horrible cystic acne ever since I was 15. And from 15 to 40 is when I became a health coach at 40. I had gone to every single dermatologist in Egypt, abroad, London, Toronto, and I lived in Toronto, every single one. I had used every single medicinal grade treatment with the exception of Accutane. I never took the pills. I had used every single drugstore and upper end set of lotions dedicated to acne, oily skin. And all of them worked for a little bit. All of them. They would work. My face would clear up. And then 2 months later, it would flare up again. So I would think, oh, okay, so this set of products doesn't work, only worked for a little bit, time to change. And I would switch and I went through everything. And I did procedures. I did Fraxel laser. I did everything. Everything would work for a little short period of time. I'd be happy with the results and say, oh, finally, I've solved this. And then 2, 3 months later, it would flare up again. Not a single doctor ever told me that this is an internal problem. Not a single doctor ever told me how dairy affects it, how eggs affect it, how processed foods affect it. Not a single one, ever. And I went to a lot of doctors. So when I finally became a health coach, and I wasn't even thinking, I remember learning about skin, but I wasn't thinking like, this is what I want to solve. I felt like I had more important issues. I couldn't believe it, because when you're learning how to be a health coach, you're also learning about nutrition, you're applying things to yourself. About 6 months into my journey of learning how to be a health coach, my acne stopped being active. It just stopped. And I couldn't believe that nobody had told me this before, that with acne specifically, and then I learned about all the other skin issues later as I learned more about deep detoxing and the liver and all of this. But initially, nobody was saying anything about food and acne. It just stopped. In 6 months, it was done. I'd spent 15, 25 years trying to fix it. Never worked. In 6 months, I changed how I ate. It was done. But even then, I was still using all the conventional products. But even then, when I learned that the conventional products are full of chemicals, full of toxins, are very dangerous because everything gets absorbed through your skin. Your skin is a very very porous. Anything you put on your skin gets absorbed into your body within like 26 seconds. Even when I learned that, and even as a health coach, I couldn't let go of my beauty products. It was very difficult for me to do. I was very attached to them. I was worried that if I stopped, my skin would get worse. I wanted like the self-care routine, but I didn't know what to replace it with. And then very gradually, because you start looking into these things, you want to figure it out. I came across the oil cleansing method. And I thought, okay, well, here's something easy I can start with. And you can see the before and afters of women who have done it specifically for acne. And it started working for me. And I was living in Toronto at the time. And that was, I think, 2013 or 2014. So like more than 10 years ago. And by pure coincidence, one of my teachers at my coaching school happened to be in Toronto and he was giving a lecture. And I was so excited I was going to get to meet one of my teachers in person. So I went to the lecture, and part of his lecture, his friend, this woman who creates who's Canadian, and she has this, back then it was small, now it's a lot bigger. She creates these all natural, purely botanical based essential oil skincare regimens. And I couldn't believe it. You know what they always tell you, like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And she had a segment during this lecture talking about skin and explaining about skin and the dangers of conventional products. I ended up doing a course with her after that. And then in the intermission, she was selling her products. So in the middle, I went back to her backstage in the lobby of the theater. And I was really, really lucky to be able to have a one-on-one conversation with her. She looked at my face. She gave me the products to use. And she told me, she's like, throw out all the conventional stuff. Start with this. Be patient with it because your skin will have to get worse, just like any other organ. My acne was a pre-existing condition. In order for it to heal, she said it's going to have to flare up. It's going to have to get worse before it gets better. And I remember this was November, and I purchased the products on the spot, started using them. And in April, I was ready to give up. That was another 6 months. So already 6 months, I had just changed food, saw significant improvement, but not 100%. Then I started using her products in November. And by April, I was like, this is just not working because my skin was purging and purging and purging. It was nonstop, the purging. And I was like, okay, this is not working. I'm going to go back to my old products. It's just not working. And then literally overnight, it just stopped. And that's how healing works. And most people, they see symptoms get worse and worse and worse, and maybe they don't see improvement, and they literally will stop just short of the breakthrough. And I almost did that. I literally almost just stopped it. And I think the day I was like, okay, I'm just going to stop it, a few days later, everything just cleared up. And ever since then, I have not had a single pimple. That was 11 years ago. So your skin is just an organ that needs to be fed properly from the inside and the outside. The main problem with all conventional products, all of them, from the cheapest ones in all the drugstores that you know here around the world to the most expensive ones you buy in the most expensive department stores around the world, all of them are petroleum based. Meaning petroleum is what? Like Vaseline is petroleum jelly. They have compounds from the oil industry in them. They take the garbage from the oil industry, petroleum-based ingredients, because they're super cheap, and they put them in every single beauty product. There's other stuff as well, sulfates, parabens, I'm sure everybody's aware of this to some extent now, but those are the worst offenders. And when you apply a moisturizer, a serum on your face that has petroleum-based ingredients in it, okay? So again, think of Vaseline. It's like you've applied cling film, an invisible layer of cling film all over your skin. Your skin cannot breathe, and your skin needs to be able to breathe. Your skin is a breathable organ. So over the years, it traps toxicity in, and this is why I was having that purge. I'd finally released the layer of petroleum, that I was using with all the conventional products, my skin was able to breathe. In addition to the internal work I was doing, it just kept purging and purging and purging until it was done. So what you have in your guide is I've included a list of the worst offenders when it comes to the ingredients. There's more than that, but these are the biggest ones. And you have the oil cleansing method described in detail when and if you decide to do this. Do not feel confused or, or turned off if you have oily skin and say, how can I use oil to clean my skin if my skin is oily or combination? Believe it or not, it turns out the only thing that eliminates oil is oil. And this was completely counterintuitive to me when I first started. How can I, because I had very, very oily skin. I had to wear tons of makeup. I had to always get the foundation for oily skin to like suppress the oil. The only thing that gets rid of oil is oil. So don't let that, don't be so skeptical of that, which is natural because of everything you've heard is the complete opposite, stop you from taking that step. But again, like I said, I want you to do that when and if you feel like you can add this to your new routine. What I would like you to do, however, today, in the next few days, is go into all the products you have at home. Your facial products, your shampoo, your conditioner, your body products, your husband's, your kids, and compare the list of ingredients. Some of you have already done this just to check with me, remember a couple of weeks ago, but now I want you to do it for yourself. Compare the list of ingredients on your products with the list of harmful ingredients that I've included in the guide to see just to what extent we're just right now we're at the level of raising your awareness around this. Compare and see to what extent you have all these products being applied on your body on a regular basis. You, your husband, your kids. If you're not sure, like if you can't make that decision for yourself just from comparing the ingredients to the ingredients in the guide, then by all means, take a photo of the back of the product, put it on the group, and I can tell you if it's a safe product or not. Heads up, this can end up being kind of a very worrying exercise when you are finally aware the extent to which you've been applying it's none of your fault, right? Because we also don't believe that pharmacies and drugstores and department stores would actually exhibit and market and sell us products that are incredibly toxic and poisonous and carcinogenic, cancer causing. We don't wrap our mind around that. We just think there's no way, if there's no way they put something that's that unsafe for us to purchase, but they do. So don't let this be worrying for you when you see the extent of the toxic chemicals in your products. Use it as a lesson in awareness, right? These also affect your hormones. All of these ingredients, they're called endocrine disruptors. Remember when we did the class on hormones, we said your endocrine system are the organs that produce hormones. So like the source of your hormones. So all of these toxic chemicals, they don't just affect your hormones, they affect the factory that produces the hormones. So you might start connecting the dots why you might have, in addition to the toxicity from what you're eating and drinking, saying, oh, wow, well, I've also been doing this for so many years and adding this layer of toxicity, which also your liver has to process. Every single ingredient and every single product you're using has to go through your liver and be processed. So that's adding another layer of a way to overburden the liver are the ingredients from all of these products. Any questions, ladies? Hi. Oh, okay. No questions about skin. On my second day of juicing, wait. On my 3 days repeat. 3 days repeat, is that what you're saying? Today's difficult. I'm so cold and hungry. Is it okay to eat only potatoes tomorrow? This is very important, all of you, to start to recognize now that you've gone through the process and you're becoming more in tune with your body. Yes, if you feel like it's difficult, I'm cold, I'm hungry. If your option, and it could be in your mind, if your option is to quit or to switch tomorrow, to something that you can wake up excited to eat and you know it's going to still be good for you, then by all means, start listening to your gut when it comes to these. So of course, you can have only potatoes tomorrow. What about Lush? So Lush is sort of a hit or miss in my experience. They have some things that are quite almost 100% clean. And here's the thing. The products I'm telling you about, the ones I use in Toronto, they're called Living Libations. I link them in the link for you. Um, and there's another one called Anne Marie. I believe I also linked that for you. And maybe Meraki here in Egypt, maybe Maj soap. Very, 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 I can't, say this enough. Very few companies are 100% clean. Very few. And I say this because I don't want you to get frustrated in the process of trying to find clean, non-toxic products. And I don't want you to panic and worry and always sort of get into this like almost paranoid, like I don't want to have this and I don't want to have this. What you want to do is find products that are mostly non-toxic, right? Where when you look at the list of ingredients, everything is clean and safe. And if they have one little product that ingredient that isn't, that's okay. So Lush is kind of in that category. So they will have, all the beautiful botanical ingredients, and then they'll put in something, I don't know why, something silly like a phthalate or something. So this is going to be done on a product and product basis because obviously I don't remember all their products by heart. So if you do have a Lush product you have a specific concern about, check it. And then if you're still not sure, then post the list of ingredients on the group. If I have a healthy breakfast but have a coffee with it, is that okay? Will it do any harm or cause premature aging to my skin? So coffee, of course, it causes premature aging, right? It's a toxin. I don't recommend that anybody reintroduces coffee just yet. You need to make sure that it's out of your system at least 4 weeks, 28 days, before you even think of reintroducing it. But coffee is incredibly, one, dehydrating. I think there was a study once where they say like for every cup of coffee, you need to drink 5 cups of water to replenish the hydration that is lost by drinking 1 cup of coffee. Coffee also raises cortisol levels, and cortisol, and not the good cortisol that sort of helps you, but the corrosive cortisol that when there's an excess of it, it becomes corrosive, and that breaks down the cells of your skin. So there really is no benefit from coffee, period. So your question is, okay, so when and if after 28 days you decide you want to reintroduce coffee, this is how you would do it. You would do lemon water, celery, smoothie, or whatever your breakfast option currently is. And yes, you would have it after your breakfast. So even when you're going to reintroduce it, and given that it doesn't trigger any reactions, you would never do it on an empty stomach because that's the absolute worst way to drink coffee. So after 28 days, bring it in very small quantity without dairy, obviously without sugar. I don't know how you used to have it before, but moving forward, even if you bring it in, there's no dairy and there's no sugar after your breakfast. And you don't want to also have it after 12 p.m. because that interfere with your sleep cycle. But yeah, it is premature aging. And anything that ages your skin, guess what else it ages? Because your skin is an organ. The way that aging shows up on our skin is wrinkles, lack of glow, etc. Internally, so anything that shows up on your skin like that is eroding and aging your organs. You just don't see it, right? So this is how you age quickly, is dependent on how fast you age, is dependent on the internal erosion of your organs. And that's dependent on the quantity and the frequency of the inflammatory foods that you're consuming, of which coffee is one. Reda, should we use our products or not for now, or should we wait? I'm gonna leave this up to you, Reda. Like, I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the call, I said, only start this part of this journey of removing your products, finding the right products, or just doing the oil cleansing method, which is in your guide. Only do that if you feel confident with the eating piece of the plan. That's it. You're in your element. You know what to do every morning. There's no resistance. You get up, you eat, you have your lunch, you have your dinner. If that is a smooth moving machine for you, go ahead and add in the skin piece. Give us examples. I've given you those examples in the guide. So in the section on skin, at the end of it, I've linked the companies, the brands, whether in Egypt or abroad, that I recommend. Can you please send all the links for us again? For the products, Ghada, they're already for the products or for the guide? For the document. Let me know which one you're referring to. Do we have to be using products at all? I mean, with the exception of deodorant, shampoo, and toothpaste, maybe oils to clean the face. No, you don't. So actually the oil cleansing method, you're using one ingredient, which is castor oil. That's it. That's it. Use it to clean. You don't apply a serum after. You don't apply a moisturizer after. That whole marketing scheme of you need to clean and then moisturize and then a specialized serum and then eye cream is not necessary. You're absolutely correct. You don't have to. If you do the oil cleansing method or you look at all these other brands I've recommended, the most basic thing you need is the cleansing oil that corresponds to your skin's needs. So that's all. I mean, if you just want to wipe your face with, clear your skin with coconut oil every day, because if you wear makeup and that's all you want to do every day, that also works. And with also, thank you for reminding me, deodorant, shampoo, all of that, especially deodorant women. I would say if you're not going to do anything with skin right now, the first thing I would look at changing is your deodorant. Because the aluminum and all the metals and deodorant goes straight into your lymph nodes right here, straight into your breasts. Matcha. So matcha is still full of caffeine. So it still has the issues of caffeine, but matcha has other sort of redeeming factors to it, okay? I wouldn't say it's a direct healthy replacement. It still has its drawbacks, but definitely something that you can try instead of coffee. Tea is the same, regular tea, black tea, Lipton tea bags, still full of caffeine, just like coffee. Could I repeat which part broke up? Can you tell me which part you didn't hear? Introducing the coffee part. Okay, sure. So after 28 days, minimum, the longer you can go, the better, but minimum 28 days, when and if you decide to introduce coffee after breakfast. So after the lemon and the celery and your morning smoothie or potatoes or whatever it is you're having for breakfast, then you can have small cup of coffee, no sugar, and no dairy. And I would do it and then wait 2 or 3 days to see how your body reacts to it to make a decision about whether you're going to try it again. Oh gosh, is it still very bad, my connection? I can't tell. Did it get better?
Now it's
Now
better.
it's better. Now it's better.
Sorry about that, ladies. Okay. The products are already linked to it. So if you go back to your detox guide, go down to the section on skin. At the end of that section, you'll see links for all the products. Mm. Yes, highly, 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 highly toxic, Inji. I'm sure you could smell the toxins as you had your nails inside that thing. You can the fumes just coming out, right? I've done it twice. After the first time, I told myself I'm never doing it again. But then it was my daughter's wedding, and there was like all these events leading up to the wedding, and like I didn't want to worry about my nails, so I did it again. Never again. Never, never again. You're absolutely right. Oh, I only use coconut oil for cleaning my face. Is that okay? Yeah, totally okay. If you just want to use coconut oil, if you want to use jojoba oil, you want to use just castor oil, any of those simple oils are sufficient. You don't have to do anything else or look for other products that might have, botanical moisturizer, etc. You don't have to do that, only if you want to. So deodorants also linked in your guides, ladies. In Cairo, in Egypt, you'll find Arij Aromatherapy have a natural deodorant. Black Lotus has a natural deodorant. Um, those are the best two that I've used. With the natural deodorants, it might take you some time because I don't know why. There's something in the ingredients that, for some people, myself included, burns. So you have to try it out and see. I had to try a couple to find one that doesn't actually sting. And then I wasn't sure like if it was me or so I kept using it, thinking, okay, maybe my skin will just adjust, but it ended up giving me a rash. And I don't know why, because they're all natural. So I think there's also an individual sort of process to this. So Arish was a good one, and Black Lotus is also a good one. That didn't give me a reaction. The other ones I think that gave me a reaction, one of them was Joviality. Joviality also has a natural one. Um, I think Meraki also has a natural one, but I haven't tried it. I used to have allergy spots, something like mosquito bites. No, I rarely see them. There you go. You cured it from the inside out. What about makeup, nail polish, perfumes? Yeah, all toxic, all of it. Um, the substitution for perfumes would be essential oils. Every single commercial perfume is full of toxins. Nail polish, um, not in Egypt though. So like if you're gonna shop abroad, there are some non-toxic brands, yes. Same with makeup. I only know one brand, and I don't think I've linked this in the guide. So if you want that link, again, it's not in Egypt. All of these are not. The oil, yes, you can use in Egypt. Any essential oil, you can dab it on. Nail polish and makeup, nothing that I know of in Egypt. If you're interested in purchasing from abroad, let me know. I can give you the link. So after I got rid of my acne, the only reason I used heavy foundation every single day was to hide my acne and to hide the scars. Ever since I got rid of my acne, so 10 years now, I've completely stopped wearing makeup. I don't wear any makeup at all. The only makeup I use is a mascara and lip gloss. And on special occasions, if there's like a big thing, I'll wear makeup. But I haven't needed it, right? So one of the reasons we use makeup again is all of this marketing that makes you feel insecure. And if you have a skin issue, you will feel insecure, you know? And even if you don't have full-blown acne, if you just have a line, if you have a little bit of discolor, like anything, you're just made to feel like you're never supposed to have anything but a perfectly clear, smooth face. So they literally like just it's like a scab. They keep having you scratch and creating that insecurity in you that there's always something you need to do to make yourself look better so that you can feel better, so that you can have more confidence. But I can tell you, ladies, it's been 10 years and never having to wake up in the morning and apply makeup has been the most incredible, freeing feeling that you can ever imagine. It just doesn't exist. Like it saves you time, like this is just it. This is just me. Protects your skin. I mean, these products are toxic, so they will damage from the outside in. So it will save your skin. It will give you real confidence because you're not hiding behind anything. You know that you are in control of the condition of your skin. You're not dependent again, right? They always want you to outsource everything, outsource your health. You feel a little hiccup or a little symptom, you go have to outsource and have somebody tell you what to do. Outsource your beauty so that you can feel confident. You don't need to. When you fix it from the inside out and you see the effects of it and you feel like, what, for me anyway, I'm like, how did I ever listen to any of this garbage before? Um, is vitamin C serum beneficial? So vitamin C is important because but you don't have to use a serum for it. You can just internally, you're eating and drinking lots of vitamin C, doesn't have to be topical because vitamin C is one of those vitamins that feeds collagen. So we do have collagen in our skin that naturally starts to break down. And of course, what you're told about collagen is you need to go and get it pumped full of collagen or use a product full of collagen. But collagen, you don't improve the condition of your body's collagen by pumping it full of more collagen or taking collagen pills or whatever. You need to, because you can do that and then they'll still die off because collagen needs to be fed. And one of the best nutrients for collagen is vitamin C. So yes, this is why you see vitamin C serums. You go to certain dermatologists and they'll inject you with vitamin C. So you need to understand the purpose. Anytime you're doing anything, understand what's the purpose. And vitamin C feeds collagen. There are some natural oils that contain vitamin C, but then again, there's nothing that can feed collagen externally the same way that you feed it internally. So the lemon water you're taking every day, this is a source of vitamin C. The orange in your smoothie every day, this is vitamin C. Um, what else is a source of vitamin C? Strawberries are a source of vitamin C. If you want, post on the group and I can give you a list of vitamin C rich foods that help to feed collagen to keep it supple and to slow down its breakdown. Yeah, same thing. That's about the liquid. Yes, Angie, same thing. It's not going to do anything if your body is not providing the fuel for collagen. And most of collagen, the other really big issue with collagen is that they come from an animal source, right? So remember, there's the equation of alkalizing and acidity, right? So too much acidity from collagen, which is an animal source, could tip the scales if it's something you're taking every single day, every single day, every single day. So this is not something that I would recommend. Botox, it is a poison. You know why they tell you when you go and do Botox, you have to wait 6 months before you come in and do a touch-up or get the next dose? Because it takes the body 6 months to start to break down the toxins in Botox. I will share an article. I wrote this a couple years ago explaining exactly what Botox does, but no, again, they just, it's just money making, it's just for profit. Nobody's deficient in Botox. Nobody's deficient in artificial packaged collagen. Nobody's deficient in the serums and the moisturizers. Nobody's deficient in the plumpers and makeup. Nobody's deficient in any of that. All of that is created to make you feel insecure so you can go and buy it and keep buying it and keep buying it. Companies don't really care about what happens to you in the process. Companies just want to make money. Um, okay, so I will put the vitamin C list and the Botox article. Yes, that's true. Yes, Kiwi, that's true. Sunscreen. So here's the other thing about sunscreen. You don't actually need it. Another huge myth that was created, I think in the 40s or 50s, that the sun is going to give you cancer and the sun is going to kill you, blah, 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 blah. The sun is the giver of all life. God created the sun because the sun is what sustains us. If the sun were to go away tomorrow, for whatever reason, it gets blocked, we'd have no sunshine, we would all die. We cannot live without the life-giving force that is the sun. The fact that they've created this whole scenario that being outside in the sun gives you skin cancer. So again, here you need to buy sunscreen to protect you from skin cancer. The sun is also the giver of vitamin D, which is an incredibly important nutrient. It's almost like a hormone that without it, we see a domino effect of malfunction all over the body. So they've told you that you don't need the sun and that if you go out in the sun, you're going to get skin cancer. But what we've seen since these declarations, since the 40s, since the introduction of sunscreen, is that the occurrence of skin cancer has not decreased with people applying massive amounts of sunscreen on a daily basis. On the contrary, it has increased. And the reason for that is sunscreen, if you look at the ingredients, is a chemical concoction, pure synthetic chemicals put into a bottle that you use. Then you go and you slather it all over your body, all over your face, and you go out into the sunshine, the harmless sunshine created by God, meant to be a life force that sustains us, and you cook the ingredients on your skin. So all of those ingredients in the sunscreen, you're frying them on your skin. This is what creates skin cancer, not normal, regular exposure to the sun. Now, of course, overexposure to the sun, especially if it's not something you do on a regular basis, you can't get a sunburn. So we're not talking about going into the sun and getting a sunburn. We're talking about your daily exposure. I've had ladies tell me that their dermatologist has told them that while they're sitting inside their home during the day, they need to apply sunscreen. Your regular daily exposure, going about your normal day, not at the beach, does not require sunscreen. You don't age, the skin doesn't get wrinkled, you don't get color patches or melasma from the sun. That is an internal imbalances that shows up from the inside out. So when you do go then to the beach, right? And you know that it's not just a regular day where I'm in and out, driving, I'm at home, I'm at work, like the normal exposure. When you do decide to go to the beach, and especially, or like, a tropical destination, a beach destination, what happens with most people is we spend the winter indoors and generally avoiding the sun anyway, because the doctors told us to be scared, and whether or not you apply sunscreen. And then all of a sudden, we get like the Eid holiday comes up in March after we spent 3 months at home, no sunshine. And you go to Guna or you go to Sahel, you do whatever it is, and you have like 3 or 4 days to vacation in the sun. You suddenly get exposed to a lot of sun for a long time. So yeah, if you go into the sun all of a sudden, without training your skin to be in the sun for longer periods of time, you will burn without sunscreen. So we're not saying we want that to happen. In that instance, you would use, there are natural sunscreens, there are mineral sunscreens. Black Lotus have one. I think Black Lotus is the only one I know of. Maybe Arish has one. These are totally chemical free. Ideally, what you want to do when you're going from a situation of being at home, not on vacation, and going to a summer destination, remember, some of you may remember, if you're from my generation, when we used to go in the summer, going from Cairo to the beach. I remember my grandmother saying things like, on the first day, we're all excited. We want to go to the beach. We want to sit on the beach all day. And my grandmother, my mother would say, no, today's the first day. You have a whole month. So today we're just going to stay half an hour in the sun so that you don't get burned. And little by little, we're going to expose our skin very gradually to the sun so that you don't get burned. So we train our skin to be in the sun. But these days that doesn't happen because most of the time we don't have a whole month where we can invest the time to do that. We just have short spurts. So definitely in those short spurts, you want to use a mineral sunscreen. But for your day to day, every single day, you don't need it. You actually need the sun. You actually, ideally, to optimize your health, you want to go into the sun, first thing in the morning between 6 and 8 a.m. If you have a balcony, if you have a garden, if you don't have, you just have a window, ideally, you want to spend 30 minutes. This is for vitamin D, and this is for all the healing powers of the sun. 30 minutes with most of your body exposed. So like if you can do it in your underwear or a bathing suit, but ideally you also want your abdomen exposed to optimize and maximize and metabolize vitamin D. If any of you have pets, watch your pet at home during the day, during sunshine, during when there's sunlight, and watch your pet follow the sunshine around your home, around your apartment, around your house. Watch where your pet goes to take a nap. Pets obviously don't listen to dermatologists, they don't listen to the media, they don't listen to this propaganda. Pets just know to do instinctively what is good for them. If you don't have pets, if you have a plant, where do you put your plants? You put them right next to the window. You put them facing the light. Have you seen how plants will bend over to reach the light? If you want your plant to die, what do? You move it away from the sunlight. So this is another layer of unlearning that has to happen because decreasing your time in the sun, avoiding the sun, thinking that the sun is harmful is one of the main reasons that we have become unhealthy because sun exposure is a basic health need. And then, of course, the addition of daily application of chemicals that cook in the sun, this is what leads to cancer. So if you feel your face is burning, that means you haven't trained your skin enough, Reda, okay? So especially if you're out in the sun for a long time, like I just said, okay? So what you want to do, if you can, even if you're sitting at home, I would say start with 10 minutes of exposing your face to the sun for 1 week, just 10 minutes without sunscreen. And then the next week, make that 15 minutes. And the week after that, make that 20 minutes. Your skin has been so protected, okay, that it will burn at the slightest exposure to the sun. The reason that skin also burns, because it is an internal issue, is because of the foods we're eating. So if you're eating highly inflammatory foods, then your skin is highly flammable. It's like just putting a match to it where it's going to burn. So all of the inflammatory foods, processed foods, caffeine, alcohol, seed oils like corn oil, sunflower oil, all of these create an oxidization in your body that as soon as it goes out into the sun, bursts into flames typically. So what we're doing right now is we're getting rid of the internal trigger and then gradually training your skin to benefit and appreciate sunshine. Apart from skin cancer, how about the notion that sunblock ages you and gives wrinkles? Well, yeah, if you're going in the skin with a chemical concoction that cooks on your skin, that if it doesn't give you skin cancer, it is going to age your skin. So it's going to erode your skin from the inside, from the outside in. Saw a video saying that you should sunscreen while cooking at the stove. This is where we have to say common sense. Common sense. Do you have a remedy for PMS symptoms? I generally get very bad cramps and gas. So we always work from the inside out. PMS is a symptom of inflammation in your reproductive system, inflammation and imbalance in your hormones. So everything that we're doing, even if you're doing it for other reasons, is working on your PMS at the same time. This doesn't necessarily rebalance though with your first cycle. So it could take a couple of cycles for any kind of period issues to resolve, whether that's the PMS, whether that's the pain, whether that's the color, whether that's the thickness or heaviness of the flow. All of that could take 3 or 4 cycles, meaning months, for you to see a difference there. So there's nothing more that you can do right now than to focus on internally balancing the hormones and the organs that lead to that. I do the one supplement I would recommend for that can help calm things down. I think we do supplements tomorrow. And I recommend this supplement anyway for all women is magnesium. So that can also help with that. If you're going to add in a supplement soon, right away, magnesium would be the first one. because cramps are just a tightness in your uterus, right? So I'll talk about magnesium tomorrow or whenever we have the supplements, but it's just a tight uterus. That's why you get those cramps. So the same way that you would get cramps in your muscles, right? The same way that when you get a headache, that's a cramp in your head. The same way that high blood pressure is a cramp in your veins and arteries. They're just tight. So magnesium is called the relaxation mineral. So sometimes in addition to food, all we need to do is give your body, and everybody's deficient in magnesium. And magnesium is also called the master mineral. Everybody needs to have sufficient amounts of magnesium. And it's the one that even when you eat everything, just because of the way our food is grown, everybody still tends to be deficient. So this is the one I always recommend across the board. It will help with cramps. It will help with muscle cramps. It will help with constipation. It is called the relaxation mineral for a reason. Um, share the link for the makeup and nail polish. Yes, let me write that down. Sorry, could you clarify the part about whether or not it causes wrinkles? Sunscreen. Yes, it does. Not just sunscreen, any conventional product is going to suffocate your skin because it's made with petroleum-based ingredients. It will suffocate your skin so that it can't breathe, and the skin is a breathable organ that needs to be able to uh, breathe, basically. So wrinkles it's two things. So it's not just the products you apply topically. Wrinkles also happen as a result of internal imbalance, deficiency in the cells. But you put the two together, so you have the nutrient deficient eating, where the cells of your skin are starving. They don't have food to function and to show off your skin. And then you suffocate the cells externally. Yes, this will cause wrinkles. It will cause saggy skin. It will cause discoloration. It will cause pimples, all of it. Any questions, ladies? All right, so I'll be waiting to see on the group photos of your products, the list of ingredients on the back of your products, should you need help deciding if that product is a safe one or not. And then tomorrow, I believe, is our supplements day. We'll talk about supplements tomorrow. Keep all your questions coming into the group, and I will see you all tomorrow here, same time, same place. Good night, ladies.